So in this video, we're going to talk about the 5th type of spirit that you should avoid when pursuing a successful career in the music industry. So stay tuned.
Beauty is irrelevant.
What's going on YouTube? Jarrell King here, multi-platinum music producer, music business coach, and of course, man of God. And if it's your first time to my channel, welcome. On this channel, I teach business to musicians, and specifically God-fearing musicians. So before we get started, do me a favor and hit the like button. And if you haven't done so already, consider subscribing to the channel. And if you do subscribe, make sure you hit the notification bell so that you're updated anytime I upload new videos. Now, when I was young, I used to always pray that God would give me superpowers. I know it sounds kind of crazy to even think about, but I did. I used to pray as a kid, like, God, please give me some kind of superpower. And then later I realized, after I became a music producer and I saw the effects that my music had on people, that God really did give me superpowers. Because music is very influential, it is very spiritual, and it can be moving and it can alter the way a person feels. And because of that, I had to really realize how powerful that I was and how powerful we all are when we have music, because again, we are transferring how we feel into a music, and then we're sharing that music with other people. So that means we're sharing that feeling and causing other people to feel a certain kind of way. And when I started working in the music industry, I realized that how many other people follow certain spiritual practices that applied to how they were going about making their music. And again, in one of my previous videos, when I talk about the angels and demons in the music industry, and I'll post a link for it here, you can check that out. I talk about how once I started working professionally in the music industry, I started coming across a lot of people who not necessarily would say that they had a relationship with God or were a believer in God, but they would still say that they were spiritual. And when you think about spirituality, there's a lot of different types of spirits that exist. And that's what this whole series of videos is, as I'm talking to you about the type of people to avoid in the music industry. So right now we're going to talk about the people who follow the spirit of divination. And if you don't know what divination is, it's really all tied to witchcraft. And it's usually something or somebody that practices something along the lines of manifestation, or like fortune telling, or like tarot cards, or taking drugs for them to go into a certain state so that they can do things like astral project or hallucinate or have a trip, or even people who follow horoscopes. And that's what made me want to make this video, is because people are always following their horoscopes, usually in the music industry, rather than following what God is telling them and reading the Bible and having a relationship and trusting God. They'd rather trust what the stars are saying or follow some kind of false teaching, and that's completely misleading and can completely be an abomination based off of what the Bible says. So in this video, I'm going to do something a little different, and I'm just going to give you a series of scriptures that break down why it's so important for you to not get caught up or consumed with the spirit of divination, and how dangerous it is to you, your life, your music career, and your salvation. As we know, divination is the practice of seeking knowledge of the future or the unknown by supernatural means, such as through the use of tarot cards, crystals, or other methods. Horoscopes, on the other hand, are astrological charts that claim to predict an individual's future based on the alignment of the stars and planets at the time of their birth. For Christian musicians, these practices can be harmful in several ways. Firstly, divination and horoscopes go against the teachings of the Bible. In Deuteronomy chapter 18, verses 10 through 12, it says, "It was written that there shall not be found among you anyone who practices witchcraft, or a soothsayer, or anyone who interprets omens, or a sorcerer, or one who conjures up spells, or mediums, or spiritists, or one who calls upon the dead. For all who do these things are an abomination to the Lord." It also says in Isaiah chapter 47, verses 13 through 14, "All the advice you receive has made you tired. Where are all the astrologers, those stargazers who make predictions each month? Let them stand up and save you from what the future holds. But they are like straw burning in a fire. They cannot save themselves from the flame. You will get no help from them at all. Their hearth is no place to sit for warmth." Therefore, as Christian musicians, engaging in such practices can be seen as going against the will of God and can lead to spiritual consequences. Secondly, divination and horoscopes lead to an unhealthy obsession with the future and the unknown. The Bible says in James chapter 3, verse 15, such wisdom does not come down from heaven, but is earthly, unspiritual, and demonic. And it also says in Proverbs 3, verses 5 through 7, trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make straight your paths. Be not wise in your own eyes, fear the Lord, and turn away from evil. So as musicians, it's essential to focus on the present and creating music that inspires and uplifts others. Obsessing over the future can distract you from the beauty of the present and prevent the creation of authentic music. Furthermore, relying on divination and horoscopes for guidance can also lead to a lack of trust in God's plan for your life. As Christians, we believe that God has a purpose for each of us, and we must trust in him to guide us along our journey. Now, I know this is a controversial topic, and I might get some type of comments of people questioning how this is true, or that science is real, and astrology and astronomy and zodiac signs and horoscopes, and how all of those things have some truth to them, and how, taking drugs can be, good for you, or, allowing you to open up your mind and be able to see things in the spiritual realm, and how all of these different reasons that justify and validate the reasons why people do what they do. And my response to that is, take it up with God. The Bible says, lean not on your own understanding, and I'm no pastor or anything like that, so I'm not here to have any type of debates with you. All I'm doing is reading what the Bible is saying, and then looking at how that applies to my life and how I've experienced the music industry, and how I think you, as a musician who wants to have a successful career in the music industry, should consider things as you move forward, because you will come across these type of things. It's already in the music all the time when you listen to songs about zodiac signs and horoscopes, or taking drugs like shrooms or LSD, or all these different things to have these spiritual awakenings and revelations and all of this stuff, and you astral project. I don't encourage anyone to do any of those things. And again, if you are concerned about it or have questions about it, then just pray about it rather than taking advice from somebody on YouTube. So that's all I have for you today. If you found this video helpful, then do me a favor and hit the like button. If you haven't done so already, consider subscribing to the channel. I post videos like this weekly, and they're all designed for you to take your passion for making music and turn it into an income generating business. So if you are struggling with that, then click the link in the description box below and sign up for my free webinar. That's all I have for you today. I'll be back with more videos like this soon. So until then, take care and God bless.